That's not, you're not going to get laid, or most likely not at a place, nor would you probably want to at a place like that either. Now, if you don't have a country scene, so like if you are, say, in New York City, for example, you either can go the Latin route or you can go the West Coast swing route. I would not do East Coast swing. So the difference between West Coast and East Coast swing is like, it's very fun, but that's like what our great grandparents were doing. That's like the big band, Lindy Hop, doing swing outs. It's very playful. It's very goofy, but I wouldn't call it sexy. It's kind of like where you know, like the men wear like the overalls, suspenders, or the bow tie, and they're kicking out their legs and stuff. You know the vibe I'm talking about.
That's the kind of shit that I learned in cotillion, I think.
I'd say probably that would be when most people talk about like traditional swing dancing, they're talking about East Coast swing, and that's Lindy Hop, Jitterbug, Charleston. Like, I don't personally think that's sexy. Personally, now
it's more fun and goofy, like you mentioned.
It's fun and goofy, yeah. West Coast swing, to me, is one of the hottest things you can learn. West Coast swing, which there's a community in New York you can do. Most cities are going to have some kind of West Coast swing. It's also a hard dance to learn, which is why I'm saying if you have country, do the country stuff first, do West Coast after. It will make you a better dancer with everything. But West Coast is one of those dances where it'll also take you a few months before you can feel comfortable social dancing it. But West Coast came out of, I like to nerd out on the history of this, it actually came out of East Coast swing. So what happened was, during, I think, the 70s, in California, swing dancing was a huge thing, LA, San Francisco, and there would be these dance halls where people can go out swing dancing. The problem is it got so popular that people didn't have enough room, because if you might remember, it takes a lot. It's very energetic. It feels like you've just done a whole workout after one song, and you're swinging around, and it takes up a lot of room. So if you had a crowded place, you'd be hitting people. It'd be actually dangerous.
Yeah, I've seen your videos. You're gonna get kicked in the head when you're swinging the girl around.
For sure. So West Coast it's still swing dancing, but every movement has a purpose, and you're not wasting energy. So it's a lot smoother looking. It's done on what's called the slot, where it's like it's a straight line, and then the guy goes around the line, the girl just stays on her slot. It doesn't take up a lot of room, and it looks amazing, because everything you're doing is intentional. Where East Coast, you feel like you just had a workout. West Coast, you dance all night and not be sweating.
So what if you're in a place where it doesn't have any sort of country? Like, let's say you're in South America or Eastern Europe. You were mentioning to me, if they have salsa, there's probably bachata, and bachata is going to be better.
If you're in New York, you're going to have salsa more than bachata. If all else is equal, I would certainly do bachata over salsa, because it's a little bit more intimate, a little bit closer. It's a little bit more sensual. Not saying salsa can't be sensual, and it's also a lot easier to learn. Like, you can learn bachata in a month. You're not going to learn to be decent in salsa.
How about tango?
In a month. Tango is its own thing. So tango is very much its own thing. So you could be really good at West Coast, really good at country, and you learn tango, and you're starting from scratch. Like, there's no
seems kind of different. You see it in the movies, right? It's always like the James Bond movie, and it's like,
yeah. I think tango is a beautiful dance. It actually tells a story. Like, you're actually creating a narrative with a woman. It's actually mostly in the legs, the work. Like, there's not much going on the upper body. I would not learn that dance. I mean, unless you're like in Argentina and like that's the thing, I would not be learning tango.
Right, forget about tango.
I get tango. I'd say that the main dances would be, if like number one tier would be learn two-step or country swing. Most major cities outside of New York are going to have two-step or country swing. Arizona, for example, is very big on country swing. Like, they're probably the best country swing community in the country.
Will be easy to find in the Southwest, of course, that's for sure.
For sure, New Mexico, even Idaho, but California has a big.
What would you tell guys to do in Europe?
Europe, man, I don't know. I'm less in the know with that. I mean, I follow Instagram videos. I know they have a big I know West Coast swing is everywhere now. Like, there's a lot of West Coast in Europe. I assume there's Latin dancing in Europe. There's another kind of dance that I don't know how to do, but it's worth learning if there's a big community in it. It's called Zouk. It actually comes from Africa originally, but it's considered a Brazilian dance now. And Zouk is sort of like, if you look up like sensual bachata, it is sensual bachata on steroids. Women I know who dance it will say they've never felt more like the connection is at a different level with Zouk. And the women do this thing when they spin, they do this thing with their head where they spin like this, like with their full body with their neck. It's very beautiful. At some point I want to learn it.
Yeah, seems very niche, but I'm sure you go down the rabbit hole and
There's actually somewhat of a large community in Texas that does it. It's become a bigger thing the last few years.
Well, yeah. Anything else that you feel like guys must know before they kind of dip their toe into this?
Yeah, if you want to, there's a lot of so there are a lot of conventions and workshops around the country, and you can make vacations out of it. This is another, I'd say, kind of life hack thing. There's a thing called the Yes Dance Convention, which is very, very fun. And the very first year when I asked someone about it, I was talking to a girl about it, and I go, is this worth going to? And she goes, well, yeah. She goes, it's so much fun. I go, well, what happens? And she goes, well, basically like during the day there's like workshops and instruction, and it's all the best instructors in the world, and they're going to do mostly country stuff, some West Coast stuff. West Coast has become under the country scene too. It's like they've started to intermingle. And then she goes, and then in the evening you have social dancing, and then after social dancing everyone fucks. And she just straight up said it to me like that. I'm like, that sounds amazing. And people get hornier when they're on vacation and all isolated in hotels together. So there's a lot of fucking that goes on during that time.
Well, I always tell guys, like, every guy goes to Coachella, right? They might go to week 1, they might go to weekend 2, but after Coachella is Stagecoach, and it's all chicks, and it's just a big country music festival. So
yeah, there you go.
It's all girls.
So and then if you're at a country music festival, a lot of those girls are going to know how to do country swing. And you're not going to really do like a progressive two-step, but you can do country swing at a music festival. I was at a Morgan Wallen concert a couple of years ago, and I brought a girl, and I was dancing with her at the Morgan Wallen concert. It was a ton of fun.
Well, guys are so opinionated about country. They either love it or they hate it, and it's all girls. Like,
I know,
it's all chicks. It's insane. And like every guy's like, fuck country, I hate country, blah blah. Great, more for me.
That's literally my view. I mean, I did not listen to country music before moving to Texas. I do now, and I tell people it's like, I think because I connect to the music in a way, like being out here, but also because I dance, it's like I have positive associations to different songs. You actually get to a point where you listen to music and you start hearing like steps and moves. Like I just start doing moves in my head in the car listening to a country song. But I think that's kind of similar to people who like go to raves and are like into EDM. They'll start listening to more techno because there's certain positive associations to it. Or to me, it's like, I'm not going to put techno on in my car.
Oh, I will, because I'm one of those guys. Yeah. But
there you go. That's my point.
I found with music, it's like you can listen to one song, you might not like it, but you listen to that same song 10 times, you might like it. There's a good chance you'll actually love it.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Oh, for sure.
Well, dude, this has been amazing. So much valuable, insights here. Anything else?
Oh, I do want to say one more thing that I think is important. I would say that if you are going to a dance hall, so how do I put this? Going dancing is fun because it allows you to fuck a lot more, right? And I'd say country girls are the wildest. Like those are the ones that are going to do wild shit with you. However, if you are a guy who's there just to get laid, you're going to come off as like I know there's one guy I know. He's definitely there to get laid, but he's also like an amazing dancer. Like he'll whenever he judges most of the competitions because
so he can kind of get away with it because he's so good.
Oh, he also loves dancing. I mean, he also loves dancing. Like he does competitions. Like he still does private instruction. Now, I'd say he probably enjoys it because it helps him get laid. And I see him take bad girls with him all the time. Sometimes even 2 at the same time. And he's a good-looking dude. But I mean, I showed you a picture of him actually once. And like he's average looking, maybe above average looking, but like the guy's a fucking like nerdy biologist, and if he was like, the whole joke is if this guy was not a dancer, like he'd be nothing special, you know. But like a guy like you, like you're a pretty good looking dude, you're in good shape, you have good social skills. Like you would be the kind of guy where if you were at say like 3 years into it, you'd be pulling almost every night with sort of where you're at.
Well,
Um,
thanks, man.
yeah,
Gives me hope if I ever need to get back in the dating market. But she likes to dance, and it would be fun to go and learn with her. Like we've been to we've done salsa together, and we've done other stuff. And she's great.
it'll bring guys closer too. It'll add a dynamic to your relationship. Like I always encourage people who are married, you guys should learn as a couple to learn social dance. Not like choreographed bullshit, but like real fun social dancing, not in a ballroom setting. Oh man, it'll add so much to your relationship. In fact, it adds so much to your relationship that most men I know, and I'd say 100%, if not 99% of women I know who are dancers, if their partner refuses to learn, it would actually be grounds for breaking up.
Yeah, that would be a slap in the face. It's like, come on, you don't want to at least try?
Well, I'll tell you, for me, it would be like a girl telling me, "Yeah, I mean, everything's great, but I'm just not going to have sex with you." Like it would be this whole energy dynamic that you just now don't get to exchange with your partner. So yeah, what I was saying before though is
Yeah, if you go in, you were mentioning, if you're going in just thinking about hooking up or getting laid, women are
right,
obviously going to feel that, right? And
yes.
that would kind of ruin the whole thing. But if you are really kind of just doing it because you do want to get dates and that thing, how do you walk that line?
Well, so I don't feel like you need to, because the thing is that this shit, I would assert, it's not gonna be 100%, but I would assert for most of your clients, if they stick with it, they have private lessons, especially the country scene where it's so easy to break into. Within 2 months, they are going to be addicted. And when you are having that much fun doing something, just from the social setting, the culture, everything, the woman will come. It's like you could, like, I'd still go in, and I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I have this hoodie that says like "daddy" on it, and like there was one night I was just like, man, I just want to fucking get laid tonight. Like I was just kind of like in that headspace. So I had like my hoodie daddy on. It was like I had my backwards cap. Like I just looked like a total fuckboy. I go out and the bartender that night, she's like, "Oh, Eric, you kind of look like a slut tonight," and I'm like, "Well, I am every night." But it's like when I said, "But tonight I'm feeling extra slutty," and that was the vibe I was in. But I'm still gonna be dancing. But maybe the way I'm dancing that night, I'm gonna be like a little flirtier. Like I remember there was this one girl that night. I was with a buddy of mine, and I was really into this girl. And like the first dance we had, like it was really fun. I could tell she was into me.